Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I am Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today, a visit to Dholavira and nearby sites in Gujarat. Also, how Kolkata is bidding goodbye to its iconic yellow cabs. And how an elephant orphanage in Sri Lanka is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Let's begin. We recently visited Gujarat for a trip to Dholavira on the great Rann of Kutch. Take a look at our experiences in the White Desert.
The great Rann of Kutch in western Gujarat is considered one of the country's most beautiful and unique destinations. Seeing sunrise and sunset over this white desert is a surreal experience, unlike anything the typical traveler has experienced. But did you know this area also has an ancient Harappan site? Dholavira, it is one of the 5 largest Harappan sites and the most prominent Indian site from the Indus Valley civilization. This once thriving Harappan city's stone walls and reservoirs stood resilient against time and desert winds for thousands of years. Nearly 5,000 years ago, traders, craftsmen and scholars walked its broad streets. They lived in a city meticulously planned, with towering gates, an intricate drainage system and massive water reservoirs that defied the arid landscape. The people of Dholavira harvested rainwater and built grand public structures. Then nature turned its hand. The once mighty city faced a slow decline. Climate shifts, depleting water sources and shifting trade routes silenced its once thriving heart. Its people vanished, leaving behind only broken pottery, intricate beads and echoes of a civilization that flourished long before history recorded its name. Today, as the wind sweeps through its abandoned ruins, Dholavira remains a testament to human ingenuity, a forgotten jewel of the Harappan world, one that still guards secrets waiting to be uncovered.
So I just spent a couple of hours at this ancient Harappan site of Dholavira in Gujarat. I found it super fascinating. It is so ancient and it literally feels like you're discovering, like a secret hidden civilization. Like the sense of exploration is certainly awakened in you when you walk around the site. I do wish I had more time. I only had a couple of hours, but if you're going to come here, at least plan to spend 4 hours here, if not half a day, an entire day, if you're going to see the museum as well. So I highly recommended. So fascinating. One of my favorite parts is probably seeing how the water management functioned and how it was laid out. I read over 10% of the entire area of this city was dedicated to just water management. So, of course, for any civilization dealing with water and having access to fresh water, irrigation, it is such an important part. And of course, I suppose that is what ultimately led to the decline of the Harappan civilization in the end.
It's been a long day in the sun, so I'm heading back to the hotel to relax and wait out the heat for a moment, lest I get a heat stroke. I'm staying at Evoke Dholavira, a new premium hotel close to the World Heritage Site by the same name, and a spot that has recently become famous as the Road to Heaven.
So this is the resort I'm staying in, as it's located very close to the Dholavira World Heritage Site. After this lunch, I'm going to go explore a wood fossil park where there are petrified remains of trees that are, giving a glimpse into life millions of years ago. After that, we're going for a cultural program at the White Run tent city. So there are definitely quite a few things to do in this upcoming destination.
Next, we visit a place called Jurassic Park in Kutch. Why does it have that name, you may ask? Well, deep in Gujarat's Kutch region, this wood fossil park holds a silent but astonishing secret. Trees frozen in time. Millions of years ago, towering trees stood tall here, sheltering prehistoric creatures. But time, nature and shifting landscapes transformed them into petrified fossils, preserving their legacy in stone. Today, these fossilized trees lie scattered across the barren land, giving us a glimpse into an ancient world long before humans walked the earth. As the sun sets over this forgotten landscape, one can't help but wonder, what other secrets does the earth still hold beneath its surface? Pondering that great mystery, I proceed to the White Run tent city. At this sprawling camp in the desert, there are handicrafts for sale, and the prices are good considering it's a setup in a tourist resort. There's also a lively evening entertainment program set up for the guests that go on way into the night. These talented dancers and performers are truly impressive, and it ties the whole experience together for this time around.
Kolkata's iconic yellow ambassador taxi, that's been such an integral part of the city's landscape, is being phased out. The hulky, noisy, no-frills Gustler has epitomized the city of joy, not only with its big dose of old-world charm, but also its occasional failure to keep up with changing times. Here's more.
In an age of feature-rich sedans and sporty SUVs, this blast from the past clung on as the romantic relic of another era. The snub-nosed Hindustan ambassador, dating back to the 1950s, now has its days numbered. They're already down to a few hundred, and a new court ruling bars them from the roads completely in 3 years.
Now it is the era of mobile phones. People book air-conditioned cabs using their phones. Who cares about our taxi car? The demand for taxis has ended, even though it was the main transport of Bengal. Everything has ended now.
Sahani, who has virtually grown up with his Ambi, is among thousands of Kolkata's cabbies gradually relinquishing their vehicles. The engine has failed to keep up with tough emission standards introduced in 2009, and more people have been pulling back since. Around 2,500 of these taxis were working at the start of this year, down from 7,000 a year earlier. Another 1,000 will be retired this year. They're to be gone completely by the end of 2027. Most of these taxis work as hire cabs, and for owners who've considered them their daily bread for years, it's a big personal and emotional loss.
40 साल से चला रहे हैं. I have been driving a taxi for the last 40 years. My license is from the year 1984, and since 1985 I have been driving this car. 40 years have just passed by. I am 70 years old. If it taxi stops, I will have to go back. What else can I do? I cannot drive the taxi here anymore. The end of these taxi cars also marks our end. गाड़ी खत्म, हम लोग भी खत्म.
once the official Indian government vehicle. A litany of oft-repeated jokes developed around the dated Ambi in the 1980s. The only thing in the car that doesn't make a sound is its horn. The Ambassador has been muscled off Indian roads by more modern vehicles. Production was halted entirely in 2014 after years of falling demand. But what do local residents feel about the iconic cabs disappearing?
The day from which private apps started operating in Kolkata, Uber and Ola, definitely their services are much more better than these yellow taxis. And the behavior and their response to their customers, their private operators are very much polite in comparison to yellow taxis. Though yellow taxis are cheaper, but nowadays it seems that they are also charging exorbitant.
Increasing their prices, they are hiring more prices, so public are not affording it. So that is why they are going for the other taxis, because the prices are not so good.
Mostly people are going online, but yellow taxis, they are not going online. Yatri Sathi, you can't take a cab in Yatri Sathi.
Today, the yellow taxi that once filled the streets is only a reminder of links binding Kolkata to India's past. And like the Kolkata tram, this one too is driving away into the sunset. Progress doesn't always mean things get better.
The Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage has become a symbol of compassion and conservation for Sri Lanka. Celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, the orphanage has seen remarkable success in caring for orphaned and abandoned elephants. Here's a look at the ongoing efforts to protect the elephants and the people.
Sri Lanka's renowned Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage marked a monumental milestone last Sunday, celebrating its 50th anniversary with a grand feast for the 68 elephants under its care. Known as the world's first sanctuary for orphaned elephants, the occasion was celebrated with an abundance of pineapples, melons, bananas, and cucumbers, all favorites of the magnificent jumbos. Among the quiet celebration were a few guests, including tourists, who were treated to milk rice and traditional sweets as 4 generations of elephants basked in the nearby Maha Oya River.
Today we celebrate 50 years of the Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage. It began with just 5 elephants, but today the orphanage is home to 68. Over the years, 76 births have taken place here, with a particularly special moment in 2021 when twin calves were born.
One of the most remarkable feats was recorded in 2021 when Pinnawala witnessed its first set of twin elephants, an extremely rare occurrence among Asian elephants. Both calves are thriving, much to the delight of both locals and tourists who visit the sanctuary.
Thanks to the elephant breeding program here, we have witnessed multiple generations. Today, we have 4 generations of elephants at the orphanage.
The Pinnawala facility began as a modest operation in Bentota in 1973, with just 5 orphaned elephants under its care. Two years later, the facility moved to its current location in Pinnawala, nestled in a lush coconut grove, offering the elephants space to roam freely in a warm and welcoming environment.
The elephants here range in age from 18 months to 70 years. Each day, we require approximately 14,500 kilos of leaves, including jackfruit, palm, and other foliage.
The sanctuary is not only a beacon of hope for the elephants, but also an important economic contributor, generating millions annually in entrance fees. Visitors can observe the elephants from a safe distance or even participate in their bath time rituals, providing a unique experience. Pinaula's success story is bittersweet, however. While the orphanage has made strides in elephant conservation, Sri Lanka continues to face a growing human-elephant conflict. In 2023, over 450 elephants and 150 humans lost their lives in clashes between villagers and elephants. Just this week, the island's worst wildlife accident of its kind occurred when a passenger train derailed after hitting and killing 6 elephants. Despite efforts to protect the elephants, including strict laws that penalize the harming or killing of elephants, farmers remain at odds with the creatures as their crops are regularly raided. In response, the Sri Lankan government is considering new measures to prevent elephants from venturing into villages.
As the new government, we are gathering data, conducting research, and carrying out studies to minimize human-elephant conflict.
Though Pinaula remains a symbol of hope for elephants, the challenges of balancing conservation with human interests continue to unfold.
Next, we'll take you to the world-renowned Nice Carnival 2025. This year's festival highlights marine conservation, offering a spectacular blend of vibrant floats, stunning costumes, and energetic performances. Join us as we dive into the world's most iconic celebration.
The streets of Nice are alive with color, music, and a palpable sense of excitement as the 140th edition of the Nice Carnival kicks off. A spectacle like no other, the carnival opens with the vibrant theme, The King of the Oceans, set against the breathtaking backdrop of the Place Messina. The crowd is buzzing with anticipation, as over 25,000 spectators eagerly await the grand parade. As the festivities begin, a towering float emerges, depicting a majestic giant whale, followed by a net overflowing with plastic waste. This striking display shines a spotlight on one of the carnival's key messages: the importance of protecting our oceans. It's clear that this year's carnival isn't just about dazzling floats and costumes, but about inspiring change and raising awareness for marine conservation.
The boat with the huge plastic bag was harsh. It was direct and powerful. It's good to take advantage of this carnival space to get the message across that the planet is increasingly important to us all.
Well, it's important in terms of everything that can be said about the climate and pollution. And it's a city. We're by the sea, so it's normal.
The Nice Carnival, known as one of the largest and most iconic festivals in the world, draws over 200,000 visitors to the stunning Côte d'Azur every year. Each year, the carnival transforms Nice into a riot of color as performers clad in intricate costumes parade through the streets, offering spectators a feast for the eyes. This year's carnival runs from 5th of February to 2nd March, and the city is buzzing with excitement.
There's an incredible atmosphere. It's really fabulous. The theme is just magical, and quite frankly, the children are crazy about it. We've been dancing since we started. The atmosphere, the warmth of the people. It's really very beautiful. This is the first time I'm seeing it, and I'm blown away.
For 2 weeks each February, the Nice becomes a cultural hub, drawing thousands of visitors eager to experience the wonder of the carnival. The floats, the costumes, the performances. It's a feast for the senses and a must-see event for anyone visiting the French Riviera.
Looking for a dose of joy and laughter? Croatia's Haha House in Zagreb is the perfect place to escape the pressures of modern life and rediscover your playful side. Step inside this world of fun and laughter where interactive experiences await at every turn.
In the heart of Zagreb, Croatia, a whimsical new museum brings joy to those who need it most. The Haha House, an interactive museum dedicated to laughter and fun, is designed to help visitors shake off the burdens of modern life. Step through the doors and you're welcomed by a puff of white smoke that signifies the start of your journey to happiness. Once inside, visitors are invited to spin in a giant washing machine. The machine whirls them down a twisting slide, much like a fantastical adventure.
I felt a need to spread joy for people after COVID, to lift them up a bit, and for them to become happier. Here we encourage the inner child, the inner joy. We encourage it to come out, and for people to recover themselves again.
Until they land in a pool filled with soft white balls.
Nowadays we are bombarded with such bad news, the times are not good, and all sorts of things are happening. When you come here, it's like entering childhood, as if you are relieved of all your problems, you come out happy. You don't need to pay a psychologist if you come here more often.
The museum also offers a rich history of humor, from ancient to modern times, as conveyed through theatre, film and the internet. It explores various humor styles, including wordplay, slapstick, dark humor and satire, all brought to life with memorable one-liners. This unique experience marks the beginning of a carefree journey, where the goal is simple: to lighten the heart and brighten the spirit.
That's all we have for you in this week's episode of Wings, but we'll return next weekend with more travel content for you. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.